Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Thanks for being with us. Remember, if you have any questions about this show or about any commercial real estate related topic, please send them to us. We do a video each business day answering a commercial real estate question. You can find them at the Twitter account, Ask Michael Bull, or on our website, commercialrealestateshow.com. Look for the tab Answers. Well, today we're talking about real estate apps. We have Todd Kuhlmann here, a CCIM instructor and also CEO of CRE Tech. And in this segment, I'd like to talk about apps that you can use to help market properties for sale or for lease or marketing your services. And if you will, let's start with apps that help you do presentations.
Oh, fantastic. There's a lot of great apps to do presentations with. And I'll never forget, I had my own video equipment and studio. I had about $25,000 worth of video equipment and an HD camera and green screen and all this stuff that is now outdated. Everything's going to flat screen TVs. Mm-hmm. Everything that I had in that $25,000 of equipment, I now have in my mobile device. I mean,
there's an app for that.
There's an app for that. Yeah. And most mobile devices actually have a built-in camera with a built-in recorder, whether you have an Android or an iPhone device, both of them do. But for presentations specifically, going into presentations, and this is very important for commercial real estate practitioners to understand, is the new median. When you go in for a listing appointment, you're going in to win that business. You are going to be going up with others that are using PowerPoint slides, using their computer, using their tablet devices to assist with the presentations. No longer is it just a simple set across the table, this is what I can do for you. No longer are you just simply a property locator. You are a problem solver, as I like to call it. Mm-hmm. And in order to do so, and a lot of times just to simply help you, a presentation app or presentation software can make that presentation for you, and you can customize that presentation based on the client you're going in front of. It becomes very powerful, and again, it's becoming more the norm. So a lot of people are using this software, using the different presentation materials, especially with a mobile device, because now they can do it anywhere. Walk in with their mobile device. I could sit there and do a one-on-one presentation with you, or I can hook this up to a monitor and do it for an entire board of directors.
Mm-hmm. And is there an app for mirroring your device to their presentation screen?
There is a wonderful app for that I have absolutely fallen in love with. Mm-hmm. It's an app called Reflector. And it's not an app as much as it is a program. And this is a program that you install on your computer. It doesn't matter if you have a Mac or if you have a PC computer. It'll work on both devices, whether you have a Windows system or a Mac OS operating system. It's about $14.99, $15 per computer. And you can install this Reflector app. And now I can, basically, if you're familiar with AirPlay, and Apple TV uses AirPlay, it allows me to take my iPhone or my iPad device and wirelessly project it through my computer. If your computer is hooked up to the presentation screen in that conference room, I can now sit there with my iPad or my iPhone device and present on it. And just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they came out with the Android version as well. So now, if I have an Android phone or an iOS phone, I can now project that through Reflector. It's made by a company called Squirrels, of all things. Okay. You're the technology business. Things are kind of squirrely. So.
All right, and what about some other presentation apps that are useful?
Well, and I mentioned too a little bit about what we did with video, and I have a $3,000 teleprompter setting collecting dust because I have an app on my iPad here that's called Teleprompt Plus. Teleprompt Plus, and that turns this iPad into a teleprompter that I can load up the message that I want to have. It will also video record me and instantly do all of that. Now, once I've created my video, I can submit that video out on the social media. I can get that into YouTube. I can post it on Twitter and different items like that. A couple other apps I really like for presentations would be Slide Shark. This is actually a free app that you can install and lets you run your PowerPoint presentations from your mobile device. So combining Slide Shark with Reflector I can now present almost any screen, any place I go.
And SlideShark has kind of a cooler look to it, doesn't it, than
It is.
PowerPoint?
It's slick, and it allows me to access the cloud. So it connects to I was mentioning in the previous segment, I use Dropbox. So it connects to my cloud files, and I can go grab any of my presentations that are in the cloud that are sitting in my Dropbox account, pull it down into SlideShark. I can be presenting and have all my presentation notes on SlideShark here, see the next slide that's going to be coming up for me. They see only the slide I'm talking about. They don't see my notes.
Nice.
There's also a timer in there in case I get a little wordy and winded, which I tend to do sometimes.
That's nice. And commercial real estate and a lot of business in general is also about personal presentations. Skype has an app, right?
Skype has a great app. In fact, traveling around the world doing some presentations in Taipei and other places, what I'm finding is the international communication median is Skype. And so a lot of people are starting to really use Skype when they're doing business overseas or out of the country.
So it must be expensive to use that.
It's terribly expensive. You got to take the time to go download this free app out of the App Store, out of the Google Play Store, and guess what? If they are using Skype and you're using Skype, absolutely free.
Okay. And talk to us about videos and iMovie and GarageBand and all that.
Yeah, so we talked about taking the movie or taking the video with your device, and most devices I mentioned earlier, they have a camera built in. And so you're taking that high definition movie, much like the video equipment that you have in your studio, very expensive video equipment, they're packing into these iPhone devices. So there's no excuse not to be able to get that client testimonial right out there. And let me tell you, as a best practice in this industry, video testimonials are absolutely essential. When you're closing that deal with a client, just take a few minutes, ask them if they do a 30-second testimonial. It's made all the difference in my lending world. I finance commercial real estate. For the first 3 or 4 years, we didn't do testimonials. We added video testimonials about 4 or 5 years into our business, and it literally tripled the amount of business we had.
And you can edit that on your phone?
And I can edit that using an app called iMovie or other apps. I'm sure Android's got apps to edit. There's a lot. The beauty part about editing videos and editing audio, and GarageBand is a great audio editor, there's a tremendous amount of apps out there that do those, but iMovie and GarageBand are two for the iOS system. Yeah,
that's amazing. So for marketing property for sale or lease, what are another app that we might think about?
For marketing property for sale, there's not a whole lot of commercial real estate specific apps. You and I were talking about this earlier. The commercial real estate technology world is pretty fragmented. A lot of apps and a lot of technology oftentimes hit the residential world first. I mean, think about it. There's about 1 million national realtor members, of which there's only about 120,000 specific commercial members. So if you're a new technology company and you want to create the best widget, are you going to go for the 900,000 or for the 100,000?
Right.
And so coming in for a commercial specific app to do marketing is a very niche product.
Right. And there's so many sites to put properties out there for sale or for lease on. It's hard to you almost have to pick those geographically and based on your area, right?
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we need to talk about more is all this fragmentation we have in the commercial real estate industry for where properties are located and how to find those properties.
Well, stay with us. We're going to talk more about applications to find opportunities to buy or lease. I'm Michael Bull. This is the Commercial Real Estate Show. We'll be right back. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Florida International University and Bull Realty Commercial Brokerage, a great place to do business. For more information on these companies or to access additional podcasts, videos, or blogs, visit commercialrealestateshow.com.